Well, hello, my friend, and welcome to day 23 of our 31-day journey through the Proverbs. And if this is your first exposure to the book of Proverbs, this journey that we're going through, I can understand if you might be thinking to yourself or wondering, saying to yourself, this is really weird. People don't talk like this. That's true. People don't talk like this these days. But if you've been a fan of the Proverbs for a while, like I have been, then this translation can actually be somewhat interesting, kind of shine some new lights on things, and maybe even be a little entertaining at times. What I think ultimately this translation helps us grasp and be reminded of is the fact that these words that we're reading, they were not written yesterday. They were not written this year or last year or even in our generation. They were written thousands and thousands of years ago. And I'm reminded of the hymn that goes, "Ancient words, ever true, changing me, changing you." Hopefully that's what the Proverbs are doing for us today. So let's go ahead and dive into our text for today, which is, of course, chapter 23. And in verse 1, it says, "When you sit to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before you. Put a knife to your throat if you are a man given to appetite. Don't be desirous of his dainties, since they are deceitful food. Don't wear yourself out to be rich. In your wisdom, show restraint. Why do you set your eyes on that which is not? For it certainly sprouts wings like an eagle and flies in the sky. Don't eat the food of him who has a stingy eye, and don't crave his delicacies. For as he thinks about the cost, so he is. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. The morsel which you have eaten you will vomit up and lose your good words. Don't speak in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Don't move the ancient boundary stone. Don't encroach on the fields of the fatherless, for their defender is strong. He will plead their case against you. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to the words of knowledge. Don't withhold correction from a child. If you punish him with the rod, he will not die. Punish him with the rod and save his soul from the grave. My son, if your heart is wise, then my heart will be glad, even mine. Yes, my heart will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Don't let your heart envy sinners, but rather fear the Lord all day long. And indeed, surely there is a future hope, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and keep your heart on the right path. Don't be among ones drinking too much wine, or those who gorge themselves on meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. Listen to your father who gave you life, and don't despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and don't sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. The father of the righteous has great joy. Whoever fathers a wise child delights in him. Let your father and your mother be glad. Let her who bore you rejoice. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes keep in my ways. For a prostitute is a deep pit, and a wayward wife is a narrow well. Yes, she lies in wait like a robber, and increases the unfaithful among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Those who stay long at the wine, those who go to seek out mixed wine. Don't look at the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your mind will imagine confusing things. Yes, you will be as he who lies down in the middle of the sea, or as he who lies on top of the rigging. They hit me, and I was not hurt. They beat me, and I don't feel it. When will I wake up? I can do it again. I can find another. Interesting words describing those folks. Well, what did you think? What did you think of these Proverbs? I love reading through it. What I want to focus on for myself particularly today is verse 23, which says, "Buy the truth and don't sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding." You know, there is a lot of things that you can spend your hard-earned money on. Some things are expenses, and some of those expenses are legitimate expenses. If you have a house payment or groceries, completely legitimate. So you've got expenses, but then some things are investments, and those are the ones that bring a return. Some things that you purchase could actually ruin you, and there's other things that could be a blessing. This verse teaches me to value what is true and never to sell out just to get rich. What does it look like to use wealth, energy, and other resources to acquire wisdom, discipline, and understanding? For me personally, it has meant investing in education, investing in coaches, investing in people that can train me and help me on my path, help me on my journey. And I feel like that is money that I have never regretted investing. So my affirmation for today is, I invest in truth, wisdom, discipline, and understanding. This is an investment in yourself and in your future. And when you invest in yourself and your future, you're also investing in your children and your children's future. So that's my takeaway for today. That's my affirmation. Now I want to take a look at an affirmation from a friend of mine. His name is Stephen from Genoa, Illinois. And Stephen is focusing on verses 4 and 5, which say, "Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone. For they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle." And what Stephen has to say about these verses is, wealth can produce two things in this world: pride and a false sense of security. Now, obviously, that's not the only two things it can produce, but those are definitely two things it can produce. Many people, unfortunately, associate a person's wealth with their value. And when we have a lot of money, we can become prideful and think that we are better than others. This is a lie. Wealth can also make us feel like we are secure and don't have to worry about anything. This is also a lie. No matter how much money we have, it can disappear quickly due to factors out of our control. Can I get an amen from anybody who's invested in the stock market? Well, Stephen's affirmation for us today is, I am not trusting in wealth for my self-esteem and security. I'm not trusting in wealth for my self-esteem and security. Well, that's our takeaway and our affirmation from Stephen from Genoa, Illinois. Thank you, Stephen, for sharing that with the community today. So grateful for you chiming in with your thoughts there. I want to thank Stephen, and also I want to thank you for watching and listening. So grateful you are along for this ride, for this journey through our Proverbs. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Also, would love to hear if you have a takeaway, if you have an affirmation. Please consider leaving that in the comments. Thank you to all of you who have already left comments. So grateful for your participation. I look forward to hearing what else you have to say. In the description area below is information on how to reach out and contact us, and more information about our lesson today. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you here again tomorrow. Take care and have a great rest of your day.